Okay, so this week's success video, I kind of want to talk a little bit about nonverbal communication and really how this impacts my teaching and your learning, and how we have to kind of be really careful how we work around the fact that we don't get this kind of information. I'm sure you've heard the expressions that 90% of what we communicate without words. So when we have the situation where we don't see each other very often, we have to be very attentive to what's going on here. And I don't know if you've seen the movie, maybe it shows how old I am, but people only know what you tell them. Now, this is kind of a joke because I don't know if you know much about Frank Abagnale Jr. in the movie, but he was able to trick people of quite a few things by telling them what he wanted them to know. I'm more talking about this here, that I only know in this situation where your other online teachers only know what you tell them. And probably the most important thing is tell me before you get frustrated. If lots of people have different ways in which they start to feel frustrated. Maybe your hands feel a little bit sweaty. Maybe you feel a little sick to your stomach, whatever it is. But, don't wait until you feel like throwing your computer across the room to ask for help. As soon as you start to recognize it, as soon as you're like, you put in the answer once or you don't understand the directions, ask for help right away. We're all here to help you. This quote's kind of funny here. It says, texting is a brilliant way to miscommunicate how you feel and misinterpret what other people mean. So communication works because we all have the same set of information, and we're often dealing with quite a generational gap. That's why the emojis are here. I'm not good at using emojis. It's actually been my goal while I've been teaching online, is to try to get better with them, but I'm not particularly good at showing how I feel by using them. I know some people are better. So you'll notice I use very few, but we have to be really careful in how we say what we really mean, and then how sometimes our emotional state comes through in how we text. I know for myself, if I'm feeling a little bit frustrated or overworked or overwhelmed, that my messages become less. I type less. It seems like I'm feeling short. And so I try to watch that and make sure that I'm not being short with people when they're asking questions, because I don't mean to. It's just often other things coming out. And the same thing when you're writing, you need to try to write as concisely as you can, and say exactly what you mean. And know that if you are using emojis with your teachers, we may or may not really understand them particularly well. Hey, Bob, can you get the mail? Sorry, mailman appeared at my house, so I really don't feel like redoing the video. We're just going to leave that interruption in here. So make sure that you're saying what you think and feel, and don't assume that your teachers know what emojis mean, right? Maybe use words instead of emojis when you can. All right, last one. This one's short this week. It's a comic. It says, I taught Stripe how to whistle. Oh, I don't hear him whistling. I said I taught him. I didn't say he learned it. And this is kind of very funny to me, because this is what learning without feedback is, right? I'm posting things for you to do, and I'm in many ways making sure that you respond so I see that you're learning. But this is just a constant thing, right? That we need to be checking with each other. So if I don't respond to something where you're trying to get feedback, you tell me. If I'm a little bit not too certain that you really learned something, I'm going to ask you, and that we keep going back and forth in this kind of information and then feedback back. So our communication is so important. We have no nonverbal, so make sure that we're very specific in what we say, and that you always ask for help. All right, end of this success video. Thank you for listening, and I apologize for the interruption.